Hi there. This is a video response to Bill Burns' video, 10 Libertarian Mistakes. I apologize, I was going to make this video response earlier. I think we talked about this several months ago, but several things got in the way. Now that they're out of the way, I can continue to make this video. So, I am only covering mistakes number 6 and 7. The rest I find to have, nothing to do with just libertarians and have to do with everything with all dogmatists. Even Bill Burns himself admits this is true. So, numbers 6 and 7 do have relevance to the libertarian ideology. They essentially argue together that because a state has a right to a specific territory, anyone living on the territory have to follow by their rules, or they could be kicked out. Just like, say, a landowner who owns a specific apartment complex or specific property and can have people live on them. And if they don't follow by the demands that he sets, he can kick them out, just like any typical contract. Now, on the surface, this seems pretty logical, right? Except, unlike a landowner, where exactly does a state get its legitimacy? Where exactly does it get the authority to say, okay, we own this territory, and as such, we can do whatever we want with people on them, and if they don't comply, we can kick them out or put them in jail or whatever. Where does the state get that legitimacy? And it's kind of interesting in that, in trying to prove that a state has legitimacy over its territory, he tries to assume that the state has legitimacy over its territory in order to prove that a state has legitimacy over its territory. Very interesting. Very clever. In order to prove something, he first assumes it. Now, this is pretty deceptive in my opinion, and I would kindly like to challenge Bill Burns to prove how a state derives its authority over a piece of territory. Now, as you can see, it is much harder to prove this than you think. You have to first establish where the state got its legitimacy from. Otherwise, this whole analogy between private contracts and contracts between the government and the people is false. So, I leave that for you. I await your response.